Hello everyone, I hope you are doing absolutely well. Today I'm going to share with all of you the latest update about the spectrum allocation. Few things have been airing on the web and it is important to know them if you are fond of 4G as well as 5G networks. Well, let's get started. According to a parliamentary panel report, the current technology will likely continue to dominate the market for around 5 to 6 years at least. Simply means that the telecom companies and the government still have a lot of work to do on making the 4G services more accessible. The general consensus is that 5G will take off sooner than later, but until then, we will have to use with the 4G. So, on March 1st, 2021, the government kicked off the latest round of auctions and it generally sold about 77,800 crores of 4G airways. They had put about 3.92 lakhs crore, but which was on offer, but they weren't expecting to sell much considering the current situation. So if we look at this situation right now, it is very good considering the sales they made. Now it is increasingly quite looking like that there might be a three-way battle from the telecom companies. But there is something which you must note. In the latest auction, Jio took the majority shares of Airways, which was bidding close to 57,100 crores. Well, Airtel wasn't behind, which was around 18,700 crores. But it was Vodafone who was very back, about 2,000 crore investment. Is the battle going to devolve into a duopoly, or there might be a three-way street? We don't know as of now. It is only up to time. Well, how will these players adopt 5G going forward? There are a lot of burning questions. But before we get too ahead of ourselves, here is some background on spectrum allocation. We hear of the word spectrum allocation every time when things are related to network technology, including things like 700 megahertz, 800 megahertz band, 2300 megahertz band, and so on. These are the things which can't make sense of for a normal person. Well, what is a spectrum then? Well, let's visualize this spectrum bands as highways, which are fashioned as airways. That is to say that if you are a telecom company and you wanted to facilitate voice or video calls over your route, then you can't do any job unless you have access to these highways. These bands are often subdivided into multiple regions. For example, you can consider Mumbai, NCR, Delhi, and so on. So, suppose you bought a 700 megahertz band in NCR, then it means that you have exclusive rights to transmit over these airways in the region without any hindrance. And also, these auctions help the government to allocate the different bands in different regions, and also it also depends on the companies which are willing to pay the most. It's more like a bid system which happens. Well, if you're liking the video so far and finding it interesting, do like the video and subscribe my channel so that you don't miss out any new videos as well. Also, press the bell icon so that you will get notified whenever I upload a new video. Now, here comes the most interesting part. The latest auctions were primarily really intended to facilitate the 4G services, but telecom companies also intend to use these bands to start rolling out 5G pretty soon as well. And that seems pretty odd at first. If you know anything about 5G, you know that it works best on an entirely different band of frequency, that is millimeter wave. But the thing is, we are not going to use it. Fake 5G? Not fake 5G, but it is called as a non-standalone version of 5G. You can check out my older video on 5G to know more. So is this going to be a correct way forward? Well, the thing is, we still don't know how 5G is going to evolve. Even telecom operators have no clue. They could be try getting there at first, but this technology, we won't know that it might be an industry standard or something like that. So the obvious choice for most of these players is to build a 5G network by leveraging the 4G infrastructure. This what I'm saying right now is also put forward in a very well written article by in McClinchy Insight Notes. It says that mobile operators can take an evolutionary approach to the infrastructure investment. Thereby, they can invest in upgrading the 4G core networks which support the 5G ones and then adding 5G functionalities on top of it. Well, this incremental approach also makes sense from a financial perspective. It means that the investment will be kept down when we don't know whether the revenue will be properly there or not. Airtel, for instance, has already demonstrated its 5G services live over a commercial network in Hyderabad recently. They use the 1800 megahertz band to concurrently operate 5G as well as 4G services within the same spectrum block. So yeah, this might be the first baby steps companies which are taking forward to move into the 5G future. Meanwhile, the recent auction is also expected to push 4G in a big way, barring Jio, who only operate on 4G networks. A sizable chunk of Airtel and Vodafone consumers, that is about 51% and 63% respectively, are still operating on legacy 2G and 3G network. But that will change eventually. After all, it's much easier and cost effective to operate on a single network, and companies are already nudging their customers to switch. So this is why the spectrum is a significant step forward and improvement towards the evolution of the telecom networks and in transition from 2G, 3G to 4G and finally 5G. Only time will tell how smooth the ride is going to be. What do you think about this? Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.